Welcome to this case study of the Sydney Opera House, where bold ambition met project management failure and later legacy. In the next slides, we'll unpack how political urgency, weak definition, technical innovation, and fractured leadership combine to inflate cost and delay delivery, and then extract practical lessons for managing visionary projects more effectively. In 1959, political momentum pushed construction to start before the design was finished, essentially locking in the site without final plans. That premature decision traded careful preparation for speed, exposed unmanaged risks at Bennelong Point, and turned early political capital into a root cause of later problems when fundamental issues emerged during construction. This slide shows classic scope creep pathology. The project began with no detailed brief, no room counts, and no acoustic standards, and mid-bill client additions like extra theatres triggered continuous redesigns. Without clear definition, small requests compounded into systemic rework, turning design uncertainty into endless change and increasing cost, complexity, and scheduling headaches. Here we see the consequences of missing structure. No work breakdown or change control meant every stakeholder could request scope. Baselines were fictional and rapidly became obsolete, and engineers were forced into improvisation. That combination turned estimates into guesswork and reactive engineering into costly, late-stage solutions as the project escalated out of control. The foundation turned out to be the first major surprise. Planners expected stable sandstone but discovered waterlogged alluvium requiring around 700 board piles and mass concrete work. Those ground conditions consumed contingency funds and delayed podium construction, revealing how insufficient site investigation multiplies cost and schedule risk for complex projects. Utzon's free-form shell concept created a genuine technical challenge because it lacked a defined structural geometry. Engineers responded by inventing standardized spherical section ribs, pioneering precast methods, and repeatedly recalculating loads. But this intensive R&D and iteration stretched timelines and added significant cost to deliver an otherwise iconic architectural idea. Between 1957 and 1973, the combination of overlooked R&D, creeping scope, and ignored geotechnical risk drove costs far beyond the original estimate. By completion, the project ballooned to roughly 14 times the early budget, funded through opaque public loans, and accompanied by considerable public outrage, illustrating how early assumptions set the stage for massive escalation. Schedule failure was driven by parallel design and construction work that created conflicts and rework, plus political interference that generated scope changes and funding uncertainty. Iterative roof prototyping escalated delays into cascading redesigns, producing trades, impacts, resource clashes, and integration issues that stretched the timeline until final completion in 1973. Leadership was fragmented across an architect, focused on vision, engineers solving structure, and subcontractors delivering specialized packages, creating misaligned goals and decision paralysis. Those silos and slow choices fed cost escalation, schedule slippage, and quality challenges, showing how the absence of integrated leadership and oversight amplifies risk on complex projects. The 1966 crisis crystallized these issues. Payment disputes and ministerial attacks led to the architect's departure, after which a local team finished interiors without the original vision. That episode teaches a stark lesson about stakeholder mismanagement. Poor handling of relationships and decisions can drive away key talent and compromise the project's core intent. To contain similar failures, adopt early-stage controls like mandatory scope statements and staged gate reviews. Appoint a dedicated empowered project manager and formal change boards, and invest in specialized de-risking, such as thorough geotechnical work and small-scale innovation pilots. Together, these measures help contain creep, cost overruns, and reputational damage while preserving ambition. Finally, despite the chaos, the Sydney Opera House achieved lasting success as a UNESCO World Heritage Site and major economic engine, proving that visionary projects can leave a legacy. The key lesson is straightforward. Creative ambition must be paired with disciplined delivery and governance if we want innovation to result in sustainable, positive impact.